Hope everyone started downloading the Talend and trying to install. So if you face any issues, you can post your questions or reach out to Tirupati. He can help you. Okay. So I'm sharing my screen. Others, please go on mute. Otherwise, recording will not be very clear. So after installation, right, you can see that like extraction, you will have all these folders as I told, and you can see except these two workspace keywords, you can find all other folders and related whatever required license document or application, everything you can see, and at the bottom you can see uninstall. So this is really not installed in your machine. You want uninstall, just you can delete also will work, or you can just click on this uninstall, you can uninstall it. Okay, installation is very pretty simple, so no need to do many steps. Just once Java is installed, you can just extract that whatever downloaded talent, and you can click on this, it will open. So how it is going to open and what we are going to do once open, that's what we are going to check today. We are going to see the section. Okay. It will take some time if you are doing a first time. It will take some time. So after downloading, right, you will see this kind of .exe or you will see the zip. So what you are going to download based on that. If it is a exe, you just click on this. Okay, I'm trying to set up in my mission also. So it is taking time that existing one. So I'm trying to open the downloaded one. So you can see you can follow the same steps when you are doing. So installer is started. So it will ask where you want to store that all installation related folders and all. You can select any drive. So I have created a folder and I'm placing that all related whatever it is going to install. Let it install in F drive Talend 7.3. So if you go and see, so what it is creating, what are all required libraries and supporting files, property files, everything is going to place in this folder. I think you guys can also start downloading and do the exercise of installation. Meanwhile, it is taking some time, right? So whoever not installed, please install this time. So after install, right, it is asking. So that is a new one is still going. This is the existing one. It is open now. So I'm just trying to. So it will ask you. It will prompt you the workspace. So you can create a new workspace in that particular folder. Just a folder. Just go here and create a one new folder. The naming should be anything, but you can start with workspace underscore. You can give something. By default, it will create a workspace. After that, you want to create any folder, you can create what name you want to give. So there is no naming issue, but to understand better, they have given the name as workspace. So I'm giving workspace for training. Okay, this is now this is for training exercises. I'm created a new workspace. So this is a folder. So what is the workspace means? Workspace. So that name itself, it is making sense, right? So workspace, some space we are allocating whatever work we are going to do. So that means you can create a n number of workspaces. So if you are working for a training, you can create a one folder naming as workspace underscore training. If you are working for a project, so workspace underscore some project name. So some related some you are working for Dominoes. So you can create workspace underscore Dominoes. You are working for project for Adidas. You can create a workspace underscore Adidas. So what is why we are creating this many workspaces, right? You can came to know what workspace you used for a particular project, or within the same workspace you can create a multiple folders again. So when you create a project, it will create a another folder. Okay, workspace is a space where you are storing whatever work you are going to done. So when you are going to assign this workspace in the studio, what will happen? Whatever you are going to implement, whatever you are going to create a flows, related code, everything will be stored under this folder. That's why they're calling as a workspace. Okay, now I'm selected this and I'm going clicking on OK. So now you see, right here, this is the prompt you will get, everyone will get. So by default, you will not have anything here. So you'll see a empty select existing project and all. What you have to do, you have to go to the manage connections. Okay, go to the manage connections. So now you see, right? This is the window you will see. So what we have to do? We have to check what we want to do. So here you can see, right? This is a open source. You will not have any other options. Generally, if it is a licensed version, you can see that remote to TAC and cloud US, cloud ES kind of all repository level of connections you will have. But this is a open source. Only option you have is local. Okay, so local is means it's the work whatever you are going to do. It will be stored in a uh, within your mission. Okay, and coming to name, you can give any name. So just it's already there. So you can give that name whatever you know, like a local project or something, local training practice, whatever name. So for your understanding, you can create anything.
Hi Krishna,
Yes.
I'm not able to see the screen.
How about others? I'm already sharing actually.
I think I can see it.
You just log out and log in again.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
So we created one folder, right, to store our work and all. So here we are going to select that folder. So whatever you are going to store and all, you can just select this. Okay, and here, so that this these are all not mandatory, but still you can give a proper naming and all. Okay. And default connection, you can use, you can say training. Okay, and this connection you want to store. Okay, so like this you can fill these details. So here we main for now you can remember. So just we'll have a local connection here because it's a open source. So we are going to create a local workspace and local project and all. So you can give name anything for your. It's a label. So when you are connecting to the project or connecting to the some specific workspace, you have to know, right, what is the workspace and what you have stored here. So this is a all naming conventions are very important when you are creating anything. It's going to be a one small job, or it's going to be creating a folder, everything. Naming conventions are very important when you are doing any work, so that even others can also be follow, or you can also later after 6 months you can see, so you can easily recognize what you have done in that particular workspace or particular project. So otherwise, there is a chance you may forget if you are not giving this kind of training and all. You just put as a local. So local, you'll have a n number of projects. So you want to see what exercise you done in a training. So local means where that is stored, the training exercises and all. You cannot easily identify after later some point of time. So for that purpose, always follow the naming convention. Each and every you are creating a small keyword also, just follow the naming convention. That will help you and others also. So you are not alone going to work entire project, right? So some team members will be going to work with you, so they'll also have to follow what you are doing and what purpose you created this and all. So for that purpose we have to follow the naming convention. Now we have created a workspace to store the whatever we are going to create in this training section. And this is the label for I have provided for the connection name. So connection name is training, and description I provided training related exercises. And mail id, generally if it is a enterprise, if you are connecting to the remote and all, you have to give your organization mail id because they have already synced with the tag and all. But right now it's a just a local and it's a open source. It just check the syntax of the mail id is correct or not, just at the rate and domain and dot subdomain dot com something is there or not. Just it will not validate your mail id is valid or not. But coming to the real time and you are going to connect with the remote, it will validate your organization mail id or whatever UID, employee ID, whatever they have configured for your to access the project. Okay, so now we are done with creating a one connection. So we created a connection and we have created a new workspace for storing our exercises and all. Okay, so now I'm clicking OK. So now I'm going to select this training. So here you can see that option, what it is saying, workspace has been changed, please restart. So if you when you click on restart, what will happen, so all supporting or whatever metadata for this project, it is going to generate and create in that workspace. So restart option is not enabled yet, so waiting for that. So now we are getting restart. So I'm going to just click on restart. What is a workspace? Anyone?
Workspace underscore training.
What is a workspace means? This is the what we have to say in a say in a terms of in a general terms. So workspace is a place where we are going to store our jobs or flows or process, whatever we are going to create in a talent, those things will be stored in a workspace. And coming to one more point. So in a workspace, you can save n number of projects. So project is a different, workspace is a different. Generally in interviewer, if they doubted you, they'll ask you this. This is a very basic question. So what is the difference between workspace and project? So workspace is a place where you can store n number of projects, but project is a place where you can store at that particular project related data only. You can, but the intention of creating a different like a project and all, it is to specific to that project related jobs or flows, whatever is going to be stored in a project folder. It's not going to have other projects or other whatever training, whatever you are going to do, that details you cannot store or save in this project. Coming to workspace, in the same workspace you can create a n number of projects. Again, project is nothing but a again one more folder which is going to named as a that particular project name or something. So that makes sense. In the workspace, you have created a one project. That project is going to have related to that specific project related jobs only. So workspace may have a number of projects, but projects will have only specific to that project related jobs only. That is the difference between project and workspace. So workspace is where you can store anything from related to project or a number of projects related jobs or anything you can store in a workspace. But project you are going to create, that is also create a one more folder in the under the one more folder. You can create a number of projects, right? So you are not going to work for a one single project within the same client. You may have to work with a different projects. That time they'll not change the tool, or they'll not ask you to of course they'll disable your project, enable, disable and all they can do. But generally same workspace you can use for create a you can connect a another project also. So project is place where you are going to store related to or specific to that project related flows or jobs, or we are going to store. Okay, so now it is asking, so it restarted and it is going to prompt you. Please go on mute, I'm hearing my voice back. So here you can see after changing the workspace, it will ask you to create a project. Okay, so here you can create a one more project name. So nothing is a project means nothing but you are again creating a one more folder under workspace. Okay. But naming makes it is a related to that specific project or specific some sample exercises, or you are practicing something, you can give practice. So practice means it will make sense, right? It is not related to any specific there is no a specific agenda, just a practice. You can practice anything, you can store whatever you are going to do the jobs and creating everything. So now I have created a training. Training is my project name. So what I am going to do next 40 days or 30 days, I'm going to give some training on this related to talent related jobs and also I'm going to store this training folder. This is a project. My project, current project is training is my project, which I am going to give some training exercise and all. So I'm creating a training. So now you can click here, you can see nothing changed in the manage connections. So manage connection should be a training name. The name is the label is the connection name is the label is training, and you have stored a workspace is a workspace underscore training. Okay, and description is training exercise. Everything we have sync. So the purpose of this workspace and purpose of this project is training. So training we are creating. So now I click on finish. So in this, whenever I am connecting this project, right, I have to connect for when I am giving a training, and I have to create all related to training exercises. I cannot go and create my practice exercise, or I cannot go and work on my work related any jobs and all. This project uh, in like intention is to only for training purpose. I have created a one project under the workspace. Now you can go and see in the workspace. So what is our workspace? Training, workspace, training. So under the workspace, you can see one more folder is created. So this is a training purpose, and it will have all the related whatever required initialize. It is initializing the right. It will go and create all initialization and required components. So whatever libraries again, the project related dependencies and all is going to be stored under training. If I want to create some more like another project, I can create another project. Okay, from I'll just again restart, and I'll change the connection, and there I can go and create a one more project. But workspace is same, but I'll create a number of projects. So that is the difference. So projects are going to be many in the same workspace, but project name makes sense to people. We are storing that related to specific project related jobs and all. That is the main intention of this workspace and project. Hope you guys clear about project and workspace. Generally, if you are saying, if you are doubt about what you are talking, so people simply ask to understand what is workspace and what is project. So it's not a very technical question, but people ask if you are talking something and it is not relevant what they are asked, or they'll get a doubt on your experience. They simply ask what is a workspace and what is a project, and what how you are going to create. If he is really intelligent interviewer, he'll ask this question. If you are talking a number of things not related to that question, then they will come back and they'll ask this, what is a workspace and what is a project? So these are all very important. That's where I'm telling, right? So creating a job, and if you understand what logic they're implementing, you can create it. But when you are talking in a group of people, or when you are going attending a interview face to face, then you have to know this basic and standards. Because if they doubt on your answers, if you may go, you may people some people may go for some other ways of interviews also. So careful with these kind of basics. If they immediately, if they caught you what you are talking, then immediately they'll come back and ask you the basic questions. Otherwise they'll immediately cut the interview. That is a different story. Okay, so always prepare basic. And today we are talking about workspace and project, right? Just go through that keywords and understand theoretically more. You can add whatever I am discussing, whatever I am saying. I'll say in general keywords what you have to say, what is really you have to understand about workspace, and what is really project, and why we are creating a projects under the workspace. These kind of things. Okay. So even we changed the workspace and we created a new project. So it is going to take a time to install, like place all the required things, whatever is supporting files and components, everything. So now you can see, right, it is trying to Earlier the step is initializing, so it is initializing the project. That means it needs some metadata related stuff and all that is done, and then it will start synchronization. So synchronizing between the your tool and your project. So workspace is already there. Under the workspace you created a project called training. So under that training it is trying to create all the components and related libraries. So it is trying to sync between your tool and your project. So the project is going to have jobs and processes, whatever we are going to create. To create that, we need this all stuff, like whatever components are provided by the Talend and whatever supported libraries and all things will be sync with your project. So you can go and see in your specific training folder what are all it is going to create. So now you see, right? Earlier it was not there. These things are not there. So now you can see, right? There is a process folder and related form, documentation, context, component. These are all related to project. When it is initializing, it will create a metadata. When it is started synchronizing, it will copy all required components. So here you can see, right, component folder. So each and every components, whatever is required, it will just have the place from the your tool. Still going on. It's not really installing, it's just extracting and placing the required things and all in a specific folders. So that is, we can treat it as right now it's a installing. Okay. So it's almost done. It is trying to open. Other installation still is also completed. So it is done. So now we can go and see in F drive. Now you can see, yeah, it is created. So it is created. So now you want to do what we have to do. You just have to create this. Let it run. So welcome to Talent Studio. So we have successfully opened, created one project and workspace. Now this is how the welcome page is going to be in your Talent Studio. Okay. So this is the actual IDE of interface for creating the jobs and all. This is how the interface is going to be. You want to have a quick tour, you can try. when you after installing, you can go through. They'll show you what is this and what is that, like that. Just they'll go through it. They don't have any audio, just a video. Just they'll point out what they're talking. So you can just go through this quick tour. Okay, I'm closing right now. There is no audio, just they'll show, they'll point out what is this, what is that, like that. Okay, and we have started another one, right? So this is another whatever I recently installed, right, few minutes back. That is also trying to open. I'll show you when what it is going to ask, what we have followed earlier for existing one, same it is going to be same or not, you can see. Okay, so now we are coming to here. So now this is a UI of Talend. So you can see different like a tabs, what you can call the categories, or you can see different windows. So you can call anything. So this is a one window, repository window. This is a palette window. This is a job design window. So now coming to your file. So toolbars, you will have file, edit, workspace, help. So help is going to have, if there is anything newly installed or you want to install, you can find that help. So in a real time, it's going to connect with the repositories. So you'll have options to install anything, but open source, you will not have that many options to install or anything. If anything you won't find in a related, you will get some kind of issue. So related to some jar or component missing or something, you can you have to download and you have to place that. Okay, but real time it will connect to the repository and the remote project. So automatically whenever Talend has updated something, they'll share with our admin team. They'll pass to that patch or whatever it is. So that will be placed in a repository. So that from repository, it will automatically it will get updated in our missions. Or you can just click on the initial packages and all, you can get installed whatever is their latest talent patch and all. With the license, they'll give us a whatever newly they have released in the current current month or quarterly or whatever. Right now they're going to do on patch every 3 months or something. They're releasing something, but license is going to be the same. But patches is keep on. They'll release whenever they found some bugs or defects raised by the customers. Then immediately they'll fix that and they'll release the patches. Now you can see, right? We don't have anything to install or anything is there because it's an open source. It won't show you what if it is missing anything. Okay. So help window, these things you can just when you start you can play with it. Now we'll understand about repository. So repository, what is a repository? So a repository where the place it is going to be a works is nothing but a workspace. But a workspace can be two things. Workspace can be stored in our local and remote. So right now we are all whatever we are going to create, whatever we are going to do, all things in my mission, you cannot able to access or you cannot able to open my jobs and all. When coming to real time, when you connect a remote project, so there you can see the remote option and all. It may be different version control tools. You will have a git or svn or bitbucket. So many things are there. So depends on their technology stack, they'll use the whatever they want. So earlier it was with only SVN subversion controlling. Now they started allowing GitHub also, and through GitHub we are connecting Bitbucket also. So these are all version controlling tools to store your whatever jobs you will save. Right, you can store in that version controlling. If by mistake your workspace is crashed in your local, or your entire mission has some issues and you are not able to launch, but still you are whatever you have implemented, whatever you have created a jobs, you can get it from the your version control tools repositories. That is called repository. So every project they'll create a repository for you. So whatever you save, whatever you create a job, it will be stored under under version controlling, so repository. Okay, so right now we don't have that because it's a open source again. So now you cannot uh, others cannot see what you have implemented, what you have practiced in your training exercises. It in the local, so it will be not visible. So repository where the place it is nothing but again a specific to project. It will create a one workspace. In git also they'll create a folder. They'll create a folder like training. They'll create a training repository. So repository is nothing but a it's equivalent to your workspace. Whatever you have done. Okay, under repository you will have a two things. One is for local repository. Please go on mute. Somebody is making some noise. Okay, so repository is going to have a two options. One is a local and remote. Workspace is going to be the same, but when you connect to the remote, automatically it will store all the data into the uh, repository. So repository, if it is connected to the remote, Git or Bitbucket or whatever they have created for you. So whenever you are going to connect a remote project under workspace, for example, our workspace is under training workspace underscore training. So under training, whatever jobs you create, right? When I have connected with the remote, all the work are going to be stored in a remote project also. So by mistake, if somebody has deleted in a local or it is crashed in your local, but still whatever you work you have done that can be uh, recovered or reverted from the a repository. That is the advantage version control. So what version control intention is, a number of people will work on the same job. For example, I'll give a exercise to Naveed or Sai. So he's going to develop today something and he have created whatever requirement is created and he has done. And after 3 4 months, Sai is not there in my project and he left from the project and he moved to other project or he is busy with other work. Then I'll ask Das to work on the same job. So he cannot for example he created a sample something job name is created by the Sai and Das is going to work on this. After 3 months I ask him to do another transformation on the particular field or a column. So when he create a default what is the version of this job, Talent will take it as 0.1. When Das is going to work, what he have to make sure he'll create a new version and he have to make sure the version number is 2, because if there is any issue version 2 job, I can go and revert 01 because Das is worked on this 0.2 version code and he made some changes. Because of that changes, something as a broken, like that code is broken and is not working somehow. But I don't want to lose the entire flow of data load everything. So I'll just point to the 0.1. So this kind of thing, and again it's the same job. I ask after 15 days or something, another requirement came to that same job and they ask you to add a few more fields and extra and you can pull from this table that table. They have given that requirement, then other job is creating, then you have to create a sample.03. So this is how you have to version. So versions make sense. And here what is the footprint? Das is our developer and here is a Sai and here it is a Tirupati. Like that, each and every developer, when they are changing some code, they have to make sure they created a new version of the code. Then only will came to know what version has what change. Not about who is a developer and all, but generally if they made some mistakes and all, you can easily caught. Like he did the mistake and his version has some issue and he removed something. Those kind of things will easily track when you are connected to the remote project and you have created. Even if you are not created version also, I can easily track from history who last changed and what is the change they made and what is impacted. That kind of things I'll get from the Git. So whatever version control tool. So version control tool help you to track the history of the job. So version control. So why we are going to connect the remote project to track the history of the job changes. So log. So log we are going to capture of job who touched the job and who did the changes everything. We are going to get from the remote project and when we are going to use the uh, version controlling. So the purpose of version controlling, managing the jobs and history of the each and every job, and we are going to have a backup from local to remote. So remote repository, it is a backup for your work. So if you something lose, you can get immediately you can get from the remote repository. Okay, so repository is that kind of workspace. It's going to have two things. It's a local and remote. So this is a repository is kind of a which can what here we are talking a number of times we can revert or we can recover the code whatever it is there, right? That means repository is a global and a reusable space where other developers can also access and get what we have done. For example, Sai created a job, that job and other Pushpa wants to see that what he implemented, what is the logic he implemented. So if it is in a local, simply it is in local, he cannot access and he cannot see. But it is a under repository and a remote, and it is a global. So in general terms also, here you can see, right, repository here local also, it has a some global features. So we are going to go step by step about that. But repository is a global space where team can easily access and see what others are doing, what they have to check and what they want to do. That can be done through the repository. So repository where the place, it is a workspace, it is available for all the developers and globally. Okay, under that we'll see different categories of tool related features and all. Right now this is a studio level. What features are available you can see in the studio level repository. But still now I have talked about what is the code and why we are going to use the repository and what is the purpose of repository and all. So when you go into here, you can see these are all standard features which are available under Talend. So you can create a business model and you can create a job, and you are going to use a context and you are going to create some custom codes. So each and every feature is a existing, it's a standard template or existing features in a Talend. But whatever you are going to create under this, it is going to stored under workspace. So it is going to store all whatever you are going to create, right, under workspace. Repository is a repository will have a workspace. Okay, this this is a sub. So under repository you'll create again a number of workspace. Okay, that is a concept you can understand. So project, you can create a number of projects under workspace, but generally they'll create a project specific repository and specific related to workspace. So these three are going to be a sync. So whatever you are going to work on a project, that related repository, you have to store your wall, whatever work you have saved, everything in the under workspace, that is going to come under repository. And whatever project you have selected under the project, whatever you are selected workspace, you are going to select a training workspace or you are going to specific project related workspace. The project related data can be saved. Project related data in the sense jobs and flows. Here what we are going to create only jobs. So Talend, they're going to call it as a jobs. So jobs you have created that will be stored under workspace, and whatever you stored in workspace it will come to the repository. Okay, repository whatever you created that will be reusable. What is the purpose of repository? Reusable components you can create under repository. Repository is a place, it is associated with the workspace where you can create anything. If you create a one variable also, if you create under the repository, then it will be visible to the other developers also. It's going to be reusable components also. If same variable other developer also wants to use in his job, he can simply use. For example, for example, DB connection. So DB connections, if you are working 10 people or 20 people, the connection of details of database is going to be the same. So I cannot create individually each and every DB. For example, I am working, I'll create my own connection details and all, and Sai is working, he can create his own. That is not the case, right? What is the use of creating? What is the point of multiple repeated actions performing creating connection and all? So one time we are going to connection details we are going to create here. So here in the metadata, that is called metadata. So metadata is going to have the connection details or like a definition of files or a definition of tables or definition of like objects, whatever. So once it is created, so other people also reusable. Okay, that is the purpose of repository. Repository is a global place where others developers can also visible and they reuse that components. So this is the repository. Okay, under this we'll have a outline code view. So outline in the sense when you create a job, so what is the job looks like and what are all the things you have, that is outline. So for example, so there is a one venture has launched and they have designed this way. This is a flat is going to be this much ads and this plate is going to be this much ad, like that you'll see that kind of template, right? So when you go for a buying a flat, they'll give that kind of blueprint. So blueprint they'll give. So this place for this flat, and this is where you will get a parking. This is where you'll get that kind of layout they are going to give, right? Same way, outline is going to be the place where you can find what you have developed, and it will show that each and every flow of the component and all. Code view means if you select a particular component that related code and all, it will go and it will show you what is the code you have implemented, what is that related component code and all. So this is the repository and this is the outline, this is a code view. Outline will have the feature of implicit variable and all. You can understand better when you start using. Okay, I'm just giving a walkthrough of each and every tab what you are seeing on the screen. Okay, so now this is a white space. So this is a white space where you are going to develop a job. So design a job. When you create a one job, it will create the workspace for you. You can generate, you can create a components, you can drag and drop and you can connect the components and all. Here you can see what job you created, job details. Right now we didn't create any job, so you don't have job details and all. This is the where context. So context we are seeing here and here, right? So we'll understand what is here and what is here. So context is nothing but a, you can just remember variables. Context are nothing but a variables. Okay, and component. So component is a tab. So whenever you drag the component, that component related settings and all you can see under component tab. Okay, that purpose they are given the component tab, and you have created a flow. You have to run the job, right? You have to see what you have implemented and what you are extracting from source and what you are loading the target. So you have to run from studio. So after creating the flow, you can just click on the run button. So your job will execute and it will start loading the data and all. You can see how much time it took, and it is once it is completed, it will disable the run button. So that is the purpose of run tab. Okay, now you can see palette. So palette is a place where you can get the components and all. So you can see all the components. We'll go in detail of each and family and all tomorrow's section. Okay, and this is a palette. Palette is a collection of like a components list you can find in the under palette tab. Okay, and coming to here, right, you can minimize and maximize. These are all option common everywhere. You can find that minimize and maximize options and all. And run job, you can see option here, run job also. Okay, and you want to create a job also here, right click and you can create a job here. So here you can see, right, create a job option. Same option you have here also. Okay, so here you can see that create job option. Okay, these are all like user friendly, and tool is giving the menu, so you can directly go and click on this. It will create a new job and all. Okay, and this is called, I'm keep telling you, the prospectives. So prospectives, right? Yesterday I'm talking about how many tools we have under Talent. So Talent has a number of DQ, DI, MDM, and mediation, big data, Spark, data fabric, so whatnot. They'll have a number of subcategory of flows and creating the related data handling. So when you are creating new tools, they'll think about it different perspectives, because to they earn money, they cannot give all the features under one thing, right? If you want to get all one things, you have to get you have to pay more. So if you are using a open source, or you are going to pay for a particular section, you want just data movement, so then you go for integration. You want to manage some data and you want to create some master data related flows and all, then you have to go for master data management. If you are working with a kind of real time integration, or you are connecting with the services, then you go for mediation. So why they are giving that categories, right? You can select. Based on that, you can pay the money. If I give everything, you have to pay more, right? So data fabric will have all the features, and others they are given, so you can select what you want, and you can fulfill your requirement with that. Then you can go for this license. So that's where they'll give a separate perspectives. And open source, they'll earlier when they started, they are giving a within the same tool, they are giving all the features. So master data, MDM, DQ, everything. But now they also become a mm, big platform in the market. Everybody started using the tool. Then they're thinking and they started splitting this all the tools into separately to earn more. So now you won't see only here integration, because we downloaded integration only. So the perspective, a look of everything is going to be integration. When you go for a master data, the look of the look and UI and purpose of the purpose of thing is going to change again. So why we are going for master data, and you can see the different view and all. Right now we are learning a data integration, and we are using a data integration. So only you can see prospective data. Others are like Java. So Java and debug, these things are common if you install any DQ or MDM, anything. So only you can see this one, right? Integration is a default because you downloaded integration. And moreover, this tool, you can see, right, this Java browsing, these things, why you are seeing, right? This is a tool as implemented on Eclipse. So Eclipse is a IDE where Java developers used to develop their Java programs, and they'll create projects. So how we created a training, right? Same way in Eclipse also they'll create some projects, and under that they'll write a number of programs and all. They'll save and they do. This is a completely basic. This tool is Eclipse. So Eclipse is a tool which is, you are going to see the same kind of view and all, but you don't see this kind of beautification on the tool. It's going to be a coding related ID. So there you cannot find this many kind of namings or beautification or colors or something. That's going to be different color and all. But this is a platform for Talent platform is implemented on Eclipse. That's where you can see Java. By default, you will have a prospective Java. Okay. So we had installed a tool Talend integration. So integration is a default platform for us. Okay, you want a mediation, you can download that. You want big data, you can download. There is a separate for each and every prospective. Okay, and regarding this view, I'm going to stop here, and I'll 2 minutes. I'll take this new one which I have opened, and we'll continue on understanding tool and creating jobs and all from tomorrow. So after install, right, it will ask you this prompt. You can see that accept, I accept. So this is related to license. So open source also, they're just trying to they're so they're trying to asking accepting the license or not. Just accept the, just you can accept. Okay.